how did you put Micah Parsons from Penn State over him?
Well, Micah Parsons is special. And, again, even though, Koromoa might have been maybe a hair more of a fun watch, it doesn't necessarily mean I think it's going to translate better to the NFL. And don't get me wrong, Parsons was a really fun watch, too.
Sure.
I mean, Parsons is your traditional stud. I mean, that's why. I mean, I don't have any questions about, where I just talked about Koromoa, we talked about the size and things like that. Yeah, I got a little concerns about that. There's no doubt about that. There's a deficiency there to play the linebacker position.
6'3", 246 for Parsons.
See, good enough. There's nothing. There's no, absolute zero physical questions you have about Micah Parsons as a football player.
Hand size, 11 inches, which is in the 100th percentile. 40-yard dash was 4.39 in the 99th percentile. Broad jump, 126 inches, 93rd percentile.
So that's what I mean. You're talking about a guy here that is arguably, again, more athletic than Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, or at least on par with him, right?
Yeah.
And then you go, wait, he's also 30 pounds heavier. And that means he can do, more things in between the tackles, and you can expect more of them in those type of situations and things like that. But, I mean, great-looking body. I mean, first off, right off the bat, length, stoutness, athletic. I mean, everything you want like a middle linebacker to look like. Mm-hmm. Special in the way he moves. Comes downhill fast. I mean, he's not looking for I want to make the tackle but give you a 4-yard gain. He's coming downhill thinking no, we're Penn State and we're giving you 0 yards to gain. That's what we want to do. I love that. I talked about his ability to avoid blockers. For a bigger guy, he's actually really special in how he can do that. Now, it's also a negative and can get him in trouble at times every now and then.
Sure.
But he'll learn. I'm not worried about that. I think the other thing that was really impressive to me, of course, is the speed and sideline to sideline, but also, Ahmed, to what you would call scrape, right? Remember middle linebacker, you got to scrape down the line of scrimmage, right? And kind of wait, I think the hole is coming at me. No, he's bouncing. Okay, wait, let me keep following him and staying square. He was really good at doing that, of course, with nobody on him. But what I was impressed too was hey, there's a guard on him, and the guard's hitting him on his left shoulder, and the running back's still running out to his right. He was, okay, fine, you're on me. It's no big deal. I'm going to keep shuffling, and I got this arm free. And as soon as I see that running back make a move or commit to something, I'm going to push off of you and go run him down and make the tackle. And I love that aspect about him. So he's an elite athlete with elite size to go along with it. And, really can do anything you want at the position. And that's why he's the number 1 pick, and that's why I'd expect him to be top 10, top 15 for sure.
He did not play last year. He opted out of 2020, and Pro Football Focus noted that not many linebackers in college football history can rest on their true sophomore tape and still be a top 10 pick.
It's insane.
But it was that good for you, and he wasn't that old, like they mentioned there. So he had an elite sophomore year. There is a question about him off the field, though. He was named as an assailant in a hazing lawsuit at Penn State. So there was an incident off the field at Penn State with a former teammate. Hughes0020 says, hey, Chris, your biggest fan from Canada here. How much would you be concerned about the off-field issues for Micah Parsons?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's...
You don't know the guy.
I don't know the guy. So that's going to be on the teams to get to know the guy. The stories you hear a little bit, hazing, things like that. Again, that can be a broad conversation. Sometimes these are young kids. You can get carried away. Hey, it's been fun picking on this guy, and now we just keep picking on him and keep picking on him, and now he's pissed and wants to fight. And the knife comes out, and it's oh, wait, we were just hazing you and being stupid 19-year-olds, and now, it's gotten, serious, and I'm being judged by it 2 years later. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of gray area.
Well, that's the problem, right?
Yes.
You don't know.
Exactly right.
It could be a situation where it's just hey, that's what happens sometimes, and he regrets it. Or it could be a situation where it's no, that crosses the line, and it's his character that is seriously in question.
Well, it's a good question from our guy in Canada, and, again, I'll answer it the same way I answer a lot of these. This is where you lean on your area scout. Your area scout is going to know, you hope, hey, this guy's been doing this area of the country for a long time.
Yeah.
He knows some people at Penn State that will tell him some things that, maybe other teammates might not say, or maybe the new coach on the staff might not want to say it and rat the player out, right? So that's where that comes in handy to find out, like, wait, is this a one-time stupid thing, or does this guy have meanness in him a little bit? And we've seen a few little scuffles in the weight room and a fight in the locker room and all those type of things. If it's that much and it starts to add up, then that's going to be concerning to some teams. But if it's just that one thing, then don't worry about it.
And there could be a problem, too, because he's been away for a year. You don't know if it's gotten better. You don't know if he's a chance. You don't kind of know. He hasn't been around the same people over the last year, so the area scout might not have anyone to talk to this past year that's been really around him a lot.
It's a great point. It's a great point,
which is why there's more uncertainty in this draft than there has ever been in a draft before. So how high can he go? Seeing that, let's just say that teams have talked to him, they're okay with the character of the player, and they're going off the film here. Here is Gary Gascoigne. Hi, Chris, loving the podcast from the UK. My surname is pronounced Gascoigne, so you don't butcher it. Nailed it.
Look at this guy. Good. I mean, you really are. What up, Gascoigne? That's good. Awesome. I mean, I'll never mess up. Gas and coin. It's perfect.
What do you think about Micah Parsons to the Giants? So, how high could he go here? Because I've even seen Micah Parsons to Detroit at 7.
I don't think that's a crazy thought. I think Detroit could definitely be. And again, we're talking about a 3-down linebacker. We just talked about all his ability to stop the run and do that stuff. I didn't even get much into his pass coverage, which is also elite. With that length and his ability to run and his hips and all of that. I mean, it's all awesome. He's a 3-down, could be a Pro Bowl type linebacker. The one I got my eye on here for Gascoigne, more than anything, hey, the Giants, I do think, yes, Micah Parsons, he's going to be anybody's cup of tea. But the Broncos are the team I look at number 9 to go, that could be where it really starts for him. They're a team, offensive line's pretty good. They got the pass rushers. They got some decent corners. Safety's okay. There's a team that's really like, if you really break the Broncos down, there's not a lot of positional need. And, it's an important part for, again, a 3-4 defense. Vic Fangio, he's been in San Francisco with Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
Then he went to Chicago, and they signed Danny Trevathan and drafted Roquan Smith. So I would think that they're in the conversation or tossing around the idea of Micah Parsons as being that pick at number 9. He is definitely worthy of that if the off-the-field stuff checks out and everything. Right. Again, just to hit one last thing on the player, I mean, size, speed, length, great instincts, read and recognition's really good. The only negative I wrote was like, maybe I wish he was a hair more kamikaze with throwing his body around.
Okay.
But that's being really picky. Because I don't want that to get confused with, like, he's physical. He is very physical. He really is. He doesn't turn down any hits or any tackles. I'm just saying, I guess I wish there was just a little bit of, like, more recklessness, just a hair. And then he can commit himself up into the line of scrimmage a little too fast at times. Like I talked about his ability to come downhill. Yeah. He can come downhill so fast and, there's a hole there. Let me get it and fill it. And, wait, now it's an outside run. And because you're down in the trash, you can't get sideline to sideline because you're kind of down there stuck in an area with people around you. Yeah. Those are minor negatives. But I really look at Denver as being that team that could do that there.
So a couple negatives maybe, but not enough to move him off your number 1 linebacker in this draft class. So let's recap your top 5 here. You had Micah Parsons, number 1, J-A-O-K, number 2 out of Notre Dame. Zaven Collins, 3, Jabril Cox, 4, Nick Bolton, 5. And you like this crew. And it seems like, I'm going to guess, you think that there are 3, maybe 4 first-round linebackers.
Yeah, I think it's 3. I think it's 3. I think 1 and 2 there, Parsons and Owusu-Koramoah, are no doubt, like, first-rounders. I think Zaven Collins is a first-round talent. No doubt about that either. I guess I wonder how it shakes out. Like you heard my things with the 3-4 teams. Will the 4-3 teams like him? I don't know. But I think he's certainly worthy of, if he got picked at If he got picked at 18 by the Dolphins, I wouldn't go, what a stupid pick, that's horrible. I'd go, damn, that's a good pick. He's a really damn good football player, and they got a need for the position. Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I think Cox and Bolden are definitely second-round talents, somewhere in that range. And you could see maybe another, 2 or 3 running backs go off the board somewhere between, 45 and 70.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.